Oh, are we live?
Yes.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Corsual. We're live in the Corsual office. Oh shit! Forget that. You didn't hear that. How you doing? What? Nothing happened. Okay. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I promise. Guys, hi. Welcome to Corsual Live. We have a very special cast prepared today, as I'm sure most of you are aware. We have Minh Gooseman, aka the dude that made Counter-Strike, sitting right here with us on the couch. Minh.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
Doing good. I'm here in Berlin, so it's really my first time in Germany. So just being able to really experience the German culture it's been a really bonus for me. And being here in Corsual as well is really great. And it's nice to be here. So thanks for having me, guys. Yeah.
Oh, it's not just a pleasure; it's an honor to have you here, obviously. And it's cool. It's really damn cool. I think it's great. Most of the shows we do here on Corsual are sort of just, quick looks at different games. Today, this is a live look at a game that's coming up. For those of you that don't know, Tactical Intervention is something like Counter-Strike. It's a free-to-play online shooter available through Steam soon. It's currently in closed beta?
Open beta.
Open beta.
Anyone who wants to join, they can just search for Tactical Intervention on Steam and just get it.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys already have Tactical Intervention on Steam, or if you're going to download it during the show, you can probably jump in and have a game with us. Here's the format. Here's how we're doing it. We've got Polly up there in the back. You can probably see him. He's about to start playing some Tactical Intervention. And Minh and I, we're going to sit here and watch him and pretty much just laugh at all of the really terrible things that he does while trying to play this game. Yeah. And then we might mix it up a little bit later as well. We'll have some fun. The focus here is on you guys. We've got Minh right here. So if you have any questions at all, you just fire away in the chat. If we miss a question, just refire it, yeah? Just keep plugging it through until we get to it. I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch. But yeah, ask away and obviously, have a good time. Nice couch. Thanks, Shining. Thank you so much. Cheese Frog, welcome to the show, sir. Lovely to meet you. Tactical Intervention is great.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate the compliments, guys, and we appreciate the early support from the players, and it's been a really big motivation for us as a team to just see all these guys playing the game. So, yeah.
Wait. Put the mobile phone away. Mobile phone noise. Put the.
I think he's talking about mine.
Was it yours?
He's talking about mine. Yeah, I am. I've been caught with my mobile phones. That's a good point. Yeah,
no phones allowed.
I can just give it to Jan.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks. Yeah.
I didn't know it was making any noise. I think it might have been this.
No, it's this noise that you always get from the waves.
Oh, right. From the phone. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh my God, that guy's smart.
Well,
hire him.
You're hired.
Yeah.
Evening Nosh, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. It's 5:33 a.m. Wow. Thank you so much for getting up.
5:30. Wow. Yeah. Or staying this late. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dedication. Yeah, I'll stay.
White iPhone 4. It's actually not mine. It's actually my coworkers. If I had a choice, I would get a dark gray iPhone because I just like dark gray. So yeah.
I'm a bit of a dark gray fan myself.
Yeah,
really.
It's cool.
I like the dark gray.
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Shining Hawk. Yeah.
Great. Look at that Kappa face. Yeah. Cody in color. You'll see this face a lot.
Oh, who's that?
That's Kappa, right? So on Twitch, whenever you make something sarcastic or whenever you do some kind of joke where you kind of want to be smug, you got that big, that troll face. That's the Twitch troll face. So you're going to see it a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Potato turned on the Corsual. Nice, man. Well, it's a good day. It's a good day to be here. It's a big moment in Corsual history and Tactical Innovation, which is a pretty awesome game, which you're gonna see. You're gonna see it pretty soon. It's gonna blow you away. It really will. Now, just want to check one thing quickly. How is the mic volume? Can you hear us all right?
Hello. Can you guys hear us?
I just want to make sure everything's good before we jump into the game and start, pawning noobs.
You guys want? One guy's asking for a T-shirt. We were giving them away at Gamescom, and I think we have a few left over. If you want to contact us on Facebook, if you just make a post on it, I'll try to find your post and I'll try to hook you up with a T-shirt. Free T-shirts. Yeah. Swag.
Get the swag on. That's awesome. Okay, volume's good, pitch perfect, beautiful. Thank you guys.
Great. Hey, somebody's failed 7th grade because of Counter-Strike. I'm sorry about that. But 7th grade is a great grade to it's so nice. It's worth repeating twice. So
Hey, my opinion is you only really learn things in the first 6 grades anyway. The rest is daycare. So if you were playing Counter-Strike back then, like the rest of us, then you were doing it right. You were doing it right.
So Jagged Crown is asking, is that the game where you're in the car shooting and stuff, Cody? That's probably the game, yeah.
That's the game. You guys remember we were playing it because we did sort of an impromptu stream actually,
yeah.
and a bunch of your I think community managers and that. There was Ben. There was
right, yeah, that's right.
Loki, I think. A bunch of them came. They just sort of joined in, and because it was closed beta, we were the only ones playing.
Yeah.
So we just shot the shit out of each other for a while, and
That's correct. Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I was the guy sitting there going, "Can we go back to the car mode now?" I really like the car mode.
Yeah, we're actually making more car levels because it was such a big hit. So yeah, for sure, that's definitely something we're working on.
I felt like it really brought something new to the style, and it was so fun. I mean, as I said the first time,
it was a surprise hit, really. And like when we spent a lot of time just trying to get it working because developing the vehicles for the Source engine was really challenged, especially. It was just we had a lot of kinks, and I think people even see them. It's still not 100% perfect, but we're constantly improving it, and it's gonna get there hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah. Anyways, PCG says thank you, Gooseman. Well, thank you, PCG Ogit.
That's the old Git.
Old Git.
He's the old guy in here. You know, he hangs out.
Yeah, well, age ain't nothing but a number, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
And I think it's PC Gamer as well.
Yeah.
So,
is he from PC Gamer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
PC Gamer UK or?
Yeah, UK. Yep.
Oh
UK.
wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I love PC Gamer UK. I love PC Gamer in general. They're huge.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out, PC Gamer. It's a real honor to have you guys on, and yeah, thank you. So it was not Cody's cup of tea, but we have fun. I love it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause these guys know me as the guy who's begging for innovation. Yeah. So
okay.
I'm always looking for groundbreaking new stuff. And when we first started playing, it was like, it's kind of Counter-Strike. And then the car mode hit, and then the hostage mode, and we started to see, there's a lot more. One of the things that really stood out for me was the damage that your character takes, sort of limping around.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of like visual feedback. I feel that's really important in games when you do something, a certain action. For me, it's very important to actually see that action have an impact on what you're shooting or on in the world, or even, and most importantly, the player you're shooting. So having those animations and having a really strong visual feedback is really important for me, and that's why I added all those animations. Yeah. So
it really adds a sense of realism to the style. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of humor, and some people find it's very humorous. But yeah, I think for me, it's a sense of immersion and a sense of just impact, and just having knowing that your bullets have an effect on the environment and on the players. Yeah. Which site do we have to contact Mr. Minley? I think the best place to get in touch with me would be through Twitter. I actually have a Twitter. My Twitter is I think it's TI Gooseman, or it might be Gooseman TI. But if you search for Gooseman TI or TI Gooseman, you should find my Twitter page. You can contact me on there. I'd be happy to answer your questions.
Smiles says even on 300 MS, Smiles is an Australian as well, so he knows my plight. I could drive the cars without crashing. How do people find it difficult? Fair enough. And love the roguelike feedback from the animations.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad really people are really taking note of that, because that's something I was really hold close to my heart. I really love games where you can actually see the impact of your actions, and I think having the animation feedback like that is really key for me to having a fun game, and having a game that really lets you feel like you're actually doing something.
It builds that immersion, right?
Yeah.
See, the thing for me, like the original,
even if you don't actually kill the player, you know that you've done some damage. That's really important for me as a gamer.
It's those visual cues.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like Counter-Strike eventually lost all realism for me. It became this sort of B4-3 go switch to knife and get out, and it was just about doing the damage. Getting the win.
There was a procedure, and it became kind of repetitive, and it became kind of
It was immersion breaking on a realism sense. It became a game. It was a game, Whereas this, it feels more like it's creating that cops versus robbers. There's a scenario, and I like that. And
there's more to do outside of just shooting. There's other elements that actually have an effect on the gameplay. So having all these other elements come into play, and it kind of opens the door for more tactics to evolve, and not to break up the monotony of, because Counter-Strike is there's really limited in what you can do. You can move, and you can shoot, and you can jump, and that's pretty much it. And the levels kind of were simplified so that it would accommodate that kind of game style. So, but with with TI, we kind of we make it a bit more complicated, and just a bit more interesting, I think.
Thanks for linking Goose's Twitter as well. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Your Twitter's going out there.
Oh, thank you for linking that. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Yeah.
And speaking of levels as well, we've got still saying release DE Dust 2 on TI.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, those maps that belong to CS franchise, they're kind of like licensed, and they I don't think it would be possible for us to do that. Yeah. I mean,
Of course.
Yeah.
But with the different game style, you wouldn't really want the same types of maps anyway, I imagine. Because
Yeah, well, the bombing mode is really popular, and we actually have that in TI as well. So, I mean, theoretically, we could do a DE Dust, I mean, if we wanted to, but it's just something that I don't think we want to really get into because, you know, the legal aspects of copying another game's layout is really...
look, from a personal level, I'm done with DE Dust.
Yeah,
for the rest of my life. I have played it enough.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are kind of overdone with that, but it's a great level though. I mean, like, yeah. And you know, the guy, I'm close friends with the guy who made DE Dust. He's a wonderful guy. He's over in Britain. He works on works with Splash Damage. It's a developer in the UK. They made a game called Brink, and they're working on another game.
I have an achievement in Brink that like nobody else has apparently.
Oh,
It's
really?
on my Steam profile. Like that one Brink achievement. I was the only
You
person.
could sell it. Could you sell your achievements?
I wish.
Anyways, yeah. But yeah, he's a great guy, and I really enjoyed working with him. David Johnson, and I miss a lot of the guys from Counter-Strike days. You know.
Yeah, well, it was an era, wasn't it? It was a time.
Yeah, it was a really great time for me because being really close to the community. In fact, that was probably the thing I missed the most. Just having that kinship with the level designers, and just like I was so close to all of them. You know, it was awesome.
Actually, I've got a question for you now. Now that you mentioned that, what's it like now? Building games that are in some way similar to games you were building 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the same, obviously, but there are similarities.
Yeah.
Has much changed? Does it feel different?
It does, because I'm building developing TI in an environment that's not the same as Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's environment when it was built, it was much more open, and it was much more community. There was basically no barrier between us developers and the community. But TI is a bit of a different environment. There's an aspect of a company, and being a free-to-play game, we don't have the luxury of actually leveraging the community's ability to contribute, with regards to creating levels and creating new content for us. We can't do that right now, and there's no plans for us so yeah, that's probably the biggest challenge for us, is not having that community link with us. And
yeah. That makes sense. I can imagine that.
Yeah, it's a huge burden on us as a developer as well. He is 36 now. Do not mention my age, or I am leaving. Yeah, I'm kidding.
That's awesome. Cheesefrog says, why did you go free to play instead of retail?
It was a decision that was kind of something born out of. I can't say that it was 100% my decision. It was something that my boss and the company management that I work with in Korea, they felt that this was probably the best way for us to get the game out and to really grow a community from the free-to-play method, because the industry has really evolved to a certain point where there's just so many good games out there. Like you've got Call of Duty, Battlefield, Counter-Strike, and all these other great games. It's really hard to build a player base because you really have to compete with them. And by going free-to-play, I think it allows us to generate more players easier, because being a free game, people will come by and check it out. So I think that was probably one of the bigger reasons why the decision was made to go free to play. Yeah.
All right, cool. I think we'll save some of these questions. Are good, by the way, guys. These are great. I think we'll save a couple for through the game. And again, if we don't get to your question, just repost it. We will get to it. I promise.
Yeah. So we're gonna be playing the game now.
Sorry for that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Corsual.
I forgot.
That's cool. It makes me look better.
Got this funky style going on. All right, so what we're going to do is Polly's going to play some TA, so you guys who haven't had a look at it yet can have a look. Remember, it is in open beta on Steam now, so you can download it immediately. You might even be able to get into a game with us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I think we're just going to be joining a public server, right? So
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's jump in.
Let's get the game going.
So-
The game will appear in just a minute.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Just one moment.
Okay, so are you seriously saying COD's good? Actually, I enjoyed Modern Warfare 1, Call of Duty 4, That was for me, that was awesome.
That was the shit, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was shit. But for me, it was more of just like a single player kind of adrenaline rush, like team deathmatch. I wasn't really playing it as a team, so when I was playing that game, I didn't really have any friends, so that's probably why I enjoyed it a lot. So, but I play Battlefield, and obviously I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, and I prefer games with more of a team play aspect. So Call of Duty, I mean, they have a search and destroy mode, but I think Call of Duty is more just for the team deathmatch thing.
I think they again, I'm an innovation gamer, and I think
Yeah.
they just sort of stopped innovating after a while. The first Modern Warfare
Yeah.
felt like a tremendous leap
Yeah,
forward.
it was, yeah.
But then it was just rehash. You know,
Yeah,
and
well, I think that's that's kind of the mentality with a lot of the AAA developers and publishers. You know, they go with what's safe, and,
Yeah.
and they go with the bottom line, and if that's what's going to make money. And
that makes
Yeah,
sense. But
yeah.
it looks like you're taking a much riskier approach with quite a few different innovations. here.
yeah, it is. It's definitely riskier, very risky. And I think we had a lot of problems when we were talking to a lot of the publishers in Asia. When they saw the game, they were like, "Well, where's the team deathmatch? Where's the kill streaks and all that shit?" And they were kind of like, they were not really 100% behind the new gameplays that we were trying to innovate with. So it was difficult for us to really sell our game there, and to just deal with a lot of the traditional publishers, because they like to play it safe, close to the vest kind of thing. And yeah, it was challenging. So we're happy with our current publisher, Lead Games. They've been really incredible with us. They've been super supportive, and just when they first saw the game, they were kind of like, wow, they want to work on this. And for us, that gave us a sense of motivation and a sense of validation, knowing that, wow, there's something out there for us, and hopefully people can dig this game. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
People are screaming for the highway map naturally. I don't think we're in one right now, but
Yeah.
can we be? We can? All right, let's do a highway map, because, I mean, look, again, the gameplay here in many regards is very similar to what Counter-Strike offered, but very refined. However, there are game modes that take a leap in a very new direction. Highway map being the biggest leap, I think. Which it gives it something of a Grand Theft Auto feel in a sense, because you can really hijack cars, and you've got a goal.
Yeah.
There's a VIP in the car, like in the president's car, and you need to get him to safety. And you can, if you've got a team of 10 people, you could all take 10 cars technically, right, in the beginning, or you could all just pile into.
Well, it automatically spawns them into cars. So, but if you got 10 players on your team, it'll automatically assign 3 per car.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 cars. We do
What
that
about if everyone picks driver though? Because I noticed last
it
time.
actually it limits it. If everyone picks driver, it'll just pick the 3. It actually does a queue. So if you pick 10 guys, and the first 3 that picks the driver mode will be selected as driver, and then next round the next 3 go. So it's a
cool.
queue. Yeah.
All right. There's a queue system. Oh, that's
it's a
good
queue
too.
system, yeah.
That's good too.
Yeah.
But then you could get out of the car that you're in and then just steal
carjack.
somebody else's
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
That's which is great.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. Yeah, we did that because a lot of players didn't like driving with certain players. It was really funny. Yeah, I mean, some players would be AFK. That's the worst, man. So it's like, oh, get the hell out of here, man. It's
Get out of the car.
It was so funny because we were like, get the fuck. And there was no. I wanted an option to just push the driver out of the car. And
Boot him out.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be really
that
cool.
would be really cool,
That
but unfortunately, I think there would be a lot of griefing involved in that, because people
That's
would just
true.
be like, "I'm driving, I
That's
don't
true.
want to get out of this car."
But I've found, I don't know if this works, but I've found the more griefing opportunities you have, the more team building you get, because it forces you to
Yeah.
make sure that you're with people that you actually
Yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to get booted out of the car in the middle of the highway.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it is kind of, it adds that element of trust. But yeah, developing this game was really difficult because we had to balance. We're having so many new innovative features. We had to balance the amount of griefing that was going on, because there was, you can do a lot of griefing in their game. I won't kid you. Like in a car, you can run over your teammates.
Yeah, that's true. I just saw Loki pop in. How you doing, Loki? Man, we were playing with you last time from League Games.
Oh,
yeah?
hey Loki, yeah, he's probably one of our guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember him playing with us last time, because
Yeah.
last time we streamed TA, we didn't know TI. Sorry, I didn't know we were going to be doing it. It was very
Yeah. Kaiser Slin asked this good question. Is there a focus on esports gaming? At the moment, we're just focusing on making sure that the game is solid and fun in a casual setting. once we get all that sorted out and polished, I think we definitely want to look into esports, because I think that's something that's going to help this game prolong the success of our game. So yeah, that's something somewhere down the road. But right now we're just focused on delivering a very stable product and fun in a casual setting.
I think the free-to-play genre lends itself to that as well. Very pick up and play, sort of just jump in there, have some games. Which
Damn you, man! You're looking so happy. Good to see a game developer can be so funny. I'm actually on drugs right now, so I'm actually not really this happy. I mean, I have a terrible work environment. My coworkers are great, but I hate my management. I want to fucking kill them sometimes. That's right. I mean, like, don't you want to kill your management sometimes?
Oh,
yeah. Let's not go there.
Have a conversation.
He's next door. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I mean, I have great coworkers, which I really want to give a shout out to my guys co-working. I've got developers I work with. It's a small team. Like, we only got 5 developers working on us, and we got 2 programmers like Andrew Ritchie and Tony Sergey. These guys have been working on the Source Engine for a long time, and it's really, I've been lucky to get them on this project, and got 2 also some level designers, Ben Kleber from Germany, Till Seashell from Germany. So yeah, we've got a small team, but really just devoted as well, and I think that's really important.
Definitely. I mean, most of the best games are made with small teams of people who are committed and passionate about the game.
Yeah, I think it's easier to work in a small team because you just don't have as much infighting with regards to like the design decisions, and just I've worked on larger teams, and it can get pretty messy. It just gets really slow. You're constantly arguing over these features, and
communication's a killer as well. Nobody talks to each other.
Yeah, it's very difficult. But yeah, so yeah, being small helps in that regard, but also in the same time it's difficult because it takes longer to do things.
For sure. Smile says people have been saying that the recoil on the gun's horrible and worse than CS:GO. How much bonus accuracy do you get from being near a teammate? And how many teammates do you need to have a maximum accuracy increase?
It's actually it only I think it's up to 2. So if you're near 2 guys, the accuracy increase will go up by, I think it's very little. It's not a huge bonus. It's like up to 10%, I think. So if you got 1 guy near you, what it does is the spread is like maybe 5% less. So if you got 2 guys near you, it's I think 10% less. I have to double check the numbers, but it's not huge. But regarding the recoil, the guns are more they're higher than they are in CS Source. It's weird because when I first made Counter-Strike, the recoil, I'm actually using similar values for the recoil. So I think over time, what has happened to Counter-Strike, it's gone kind of, the recoil has gone a bit more easy for new players. So it's kind of like, but yeah, with Tia, I kind of just I just felt that I wanted to do something a bit more challenging and just have. But I don't think it's unplayable for new players. I think they just have to use the specific gun, because I really recommend for new players just to use like a submachine gun, like an MP5, because these ones are really easy to use.
Less kickback.
Yeah, less kickback. The assault rifles, I would recommend them later on when you're more experienced and that kind of thing. When you've grown a set of balls.
Grow some balls, you pussies.
I'm just kidding.
Awesome. Skyrise map?
Is it not actually? Yeah, it's not out yet, but I think we're going to be releasing that really soon. I mean, we're going to be releasing maps very frequently after the initial release. I think the schedule is for like 1 per month or even quicker than that. But yeah, I mean, right now we've got like so many maps in the pipeline. I mean, I think right now we have like 7 maps out there, and we're working on 7 more maps as well. We've got some great ones. I mean, we've got like I think 2 or 3 new driving maps, and I've got like. I'm working on this map that takes place in a really big airport, and that's going to be a bomb map. So yeah, things are really shaping up with regards to the mapping department, and I'm really excited to release those and see how people react to that.
Waylon, hey Waylon, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Waylon says the recoil is totally okay and all fine. Okay, so I guess it's just different strokes, different folks.
It is, yeah. I mean, as I said, for a lot of players who've played this for initially, it takes about a week for people to just really get adjusted to it.
I was just going to say, we've got some lag issues here with the EU data centers on Twitch. Occasionally there are lag issues. With the
Okay, so
streams.
we're kind of like moving in slow motion.
So it'll just stutter and stuff depending on where people are.
Yeah.
But Kuron's asking, saying he hopes it gets to YouTube quickly. It should be up on YouTube either today or tomorrow, and on Steam as well, and so on and so forth.
Will there be more highway maps? Yes, definitely more highway maps. As I mentioned, we're working on 2 or 3 new driving maps. One of them takes place in a downtown inner city, so it looks a lot like GTA, where it's kind of like you got a lot of buildings coming out and you're smashing through things on the sides of the streets. So that one's gonna be kind of fun. And we got one that takes place in Monaco. That one's really beautiful. It takes place at night. So yeah, we're really hard at work working on new driving maps, as well as new maps for other scenarios. Because bombing scenario is definitely something we're working on as well, because we don't have as much bombing maps. So we've got I think 2 bombing maps in the pipes, and we're also working on an assassination map where you have a VIP escort, but it's on foot. It's not with cars. So it's kind of like in the old Counter-Strike where it's like AS Oil Rig, where you had to escort a VIP on foot. So we're doing that again in TI. We're doing a map that does that same gameplay. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. It's called it's a Spanish. It takes place in Spain. So the setting is really beautiful, and the level. All the textures were actually taken with real photos of actual pictures of Spain. So that one is one of our best. Yeah.
Nice. We're looking forward to seeing that.
Currently glitching a car at the moment on the map. Yeah, sorry about that. It happens a bit. The cars were kind of glitchy, and as I say, we're constantly working on polishing up the little glitches. It's challenging with a small team, but we're definitely making progress. And I think just recently I just made some improvements to the car glitches. So should be seeing that in a patch pretty soon now.
Nice. Well, yeah, it is beta, and that's there are going to be kinks being ironed out, of course. Hey, Elzona, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Sanja's got an interesting one. What made you decide to start developing games, and how did you come by the idea for CS and TI?
I was always playing games when I was young. I mean, ever since I was 8, I think my dad bought me a VIC-20, which is a really old system, had terrible graphics, but the games there were super fun, and I just grew up with games, and I just loved playing them. But I was also a very creative person as well. I love drawing. I love just creating things. So I think when the opportunity came up for me to create a game, I think the first time I actually created something was called when Doom came out, and they released a level editor for Doom. And when I first created my first level for Doom, and I released it, and people were giving me some feedback, I was like, wow, this is awesome. I knew right then this is something that I wanted to do for a career, and I think that's when it started, when I was 16 years old, and I released my first Doom level, and then after that I worked on Quake, and then Quake 2, and then Counter-Strike. So how did I come up with the idea of Counter-Strike? I think I was mostly influenced by a lot of movies. I was and also reading a lot of things on the internet about counterterrorism. I was really just intrigued by the way counter-terrorist units around the world, the way they fight terrorism. They have such very special tactics and very specialized weapons, and a very special rule of engagement as well. So it's something very kind of mysterious, and something that very attracted me to the Counter-Strike theme. So yeah, that's how I came up with the idea for CS. And now TI is really just an evolution of what I wanted to do with CS, but I just never had the capability or the mostly just the capability of, because when I made Counter-Strike, I was still pretty I was just kind of getting my feet wet with just developing multiplayer games. So I was kind of inexperienced in developing certain features, and for example the vehicles. I tried to develop vehicles for Counter-Strike. People probably remember that, but it was pretty unsuccessful. Yeah. It was funny though. It was funny as hell. I mean, I don't know if you ever played vehicles in Counter-Strike. We had some huge glitches. Sometimes you'd just be driving, and then your car would just sink into the road. It was just fucking nuts. And then you'd just be in the road, and it was funny though. I mean, I think that was part of the fun of it, but it was just hilarious times. But
Smiles was just saying that when he got glitched, it was because he got slammed into the wall by somebody else, and I can imagine with collision detection and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the way we do the collision detection is it's probably not perfect, but there will be situations where cars will be inside each other. It's very hard to perfect in a multiplayer environment, and it's something that we've never really been able to get perfectly right. But I think it's to this point where it's actually very playable. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's quite playable.
Oh, it's playable. That's for sure. We had fun with it. And I remember this isn't my genre at all, so it takes a lot to actually get me excited about this sort of stuff. But immediately there were just things that jumped out that made me happy, and that's all it takes, really.
Yeah, that's
with CS:GO, which I paid for to get into the beta.
Yeah.
I might have played that for 20 minutes or half an hour or something before I was just, it's exactly the same thing I was playing 10 years ago.
I know.
And I don't need that again because I enjoyed that time and I love the memories.
I think it was more for the new generation of players.
Definitely.
Who just wanted something,
They want to experience a bit of the CS.
But with better graphics, updated graphics, and that for me that wasn't my intention for creating TI. I mean, when I first started TI, I didn't want to create just basically a small iteration of Counter-Strike. I wanted to go full blast with everything I wanted to do with CS, but just never had that capability. So
for sure.
So I wasn't really afraid of pissing off an existing player base because I think having that burden is just really kind of difficult to develop games under.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you follow your heart, right? You do what you think. Create the content you want to play.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's where the innovation comes from. It's just not being afraid to try new things. Sometimes we get things wrong. I'll admit there's a lot of things in TI that isn't probably maybe we can probably fix it later, or perhaps over time we may realize that it doesn't belong there. But I think that's where playing the game with a lot of the community and just getting everybody's feedback and just really trying to get a feel for how players are reacting to the game, and that's kind of the thing that I enjoy most about development is just really just gauging what works and what doesn't in a live environment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in writing they say you write the book you want to read, not the book your audience wants to read. Yeah, and I think with development as well, you make the game you want to play.
Yeah.
And then you'll attract the people that are like-minded, as opposed to these AAA blockbusters that seem to just be catering to what they think is required or what they think is needed. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Olga says he loved the VIC-20. It was his first computer as well, followed by the Sinclair Spectrum.
Yeah, I didn't get a Sinclair. I skipped out on that. After the VIC-20, I got the Commodore 64. I don't know. That was Cody. I don't know. Do you know these systems?
I do not.
Ah, okay. Wow. That's how old I am.
I was the Commodore 64. I came in,
know the Commodore
but I had the Atari.
Okay.
And then I had the Sega.
And the Amiga.
And then,
did you get an Amiga?
Never had an Amiga. I had the Atari 2600, and then I got a Sega Master System.
Oh, okay.
And then my Sega Master System broke.
Oh.
And that's when I pulled out the Commodore 64 for the first time, because I had no Sega. What am I going to do with a Sega, right? I'd done Atari to death. I wasn't going back to that. And the Commodore 64, I had Ghostbusters on cassette. Those little cassette tape.
Yeah, and they take forever to load.
Oh man, I was a little older than most people would have been with their first experience there, because I was coming back. I was 8 or 9. Yeah. But still, it was one hell of an experience.
Yeah, it was those were really.
It was good times.
Days, yeah.
There was a really good game on the C64.
Commodore 64, yeah.
It was kind of like Spelunky in a sense. I wish I knew.
Oh, Dig Dug, where you had to pump up something. Yeah,
it was
awesome.
awesome.
It was kind of like you build a tunnels inside.
Yeah, exactly.
You pump things up.
That.
Yeah, I played so many games on that. Some of my favorites for Commodore 64 were Judge Dredd and I forgot the names, but this is one game where it was kind of like barbarians, so it was like Conan, but it was two guys just fighting each other, kind of like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But you had it was just sword fighting, and you can chop off his head and shit. It was awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if I played that one.
It's called Barbarian. Awesome. I think it was called Barbarian, and it was just a 2-player beat 'em up game, but with swords, and it was cool.
I wonder what would be involved in actually getting a Commodore 64 stream going. I'd be all over that.
I'm sure there's somebody that has one. Yeah.
We could do it. It could be done. It could be done. Dig Dug, yes. Remember, guys, if we miss any questions, by the way, and you really want them answered, just chuck them back in. We'll get to them, I promise.
What's my weapon of choice in TI? I like the MP5, and I also like the SIG SG551. Yeah, those are my favorites.
Loki's asking, which room are we in? Do we know? Luke, if we can't get you in this game, the next game we'll sync it up a bit so we can actually get you in.
Yeah. Were you able to fly jet skis, things like jumping out of the aircrafts? So Adam Craft asked if we were able to fly, in real life or in our game TI. Is that like a science question? In the future, can we all fly? No, not in TI. There's no plans to fly. No, I don't think I really want to involve flying. Let's save that for Unreal, or let's save that for Tribes, guys, because that's their news.
That's true. That's true.
Do you think you can challenge AAA titles like BF2, titles like Warface, Combat Arms, and stuff? Challenge them? Yeah, I think over time, I think our game will get there in terms of the graphical. Like the maps that we have right now. I'm kind of embarrassed. They're not the nicest looking, but the ones that we have currently working on right now, the maps do look a lot better than what we're seeing here. So there. Definitely, we're going to see some improvements in graphical quality for sure as we get more as we get better at what we do.
I think we are on room 27
Room 27
on EU1.
on EU1.
In my opinion, the AUG is a bit overpowered. It's weird because when I looked at the values for all of the AUG, the AUG, the M4, the SG501, the G36, they have like very similar values in terms of damage and recoil. They only vary by like I think 3% or 4%. So it's weird how people have this really belief that certain guns, like certain rifles, are really that much more powerful. Because the AUG, like performance-wise, it's really not. It's no more difference than an M4. I think just the fact that it looks in a certain position, people might get this impression that it feels powerful. But I think a lot of it has to do with psychology. But no, in terms of like the actual statistics of that gun, it shouldn't be more powerful than like an M4 or whatnot. Will there be matchmaking released? I don't know. That's something that me personally would like to have eventually. But in terms of when or if that can happen, I can't say for sure. We have a very small team, as I said, as I will constantly be repeating over and over again. So, I use that as an excuse, and I think it sounds really lame, but I think if people understand the fact that we do have a small team, and it's not the fact that we have like 30 guys just sitting around just like sleeping all day. We're really hard working. In fact, we hardly even get time to sleep. So it's very difficult for us to maintain this game. So if anybody wants to work with us for free, no, I'm kidding.
Volunteer positions now open.
Combat Arms, AAA. What? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, Combat Arms.
The question was phrased a little strangely, but it was an or. So, do you think you can challenge AAA titles like BF4 or free-to-play titles like Warface?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah. I don't see TI having any issues competing with Combat Arms because I reviewed that a while ago. It was pretty trashy. I thought there was definitely no innovation for me. Did you play much of it?
I did play. I played a lot of Korean games, FPS games like Combat Arms and Special Forces and all these other ones as well.
There's a new one as well. I can't remember the name.
Skill. It's called Skill.
Yeah,
but. To me they felt very similar to Call of Duty in terms of gameplay and it wasn't my style, I guess, but
You're definitely focusing more on the team-based shooter style,
something what I wanted to do with Counter-Strike, where I really want to encourage players to work together. And not just, we have a lot of elements like healing other players, and we have things such as using shields and using dogs, and also the driving level as well. There's elements where you actually have the ability to help your teammate, not just through shooting enemies. And I really like that because it gives players the ability to just really connect with their teammate. And that was one of my most enjoyable moments in Counter-Strike. When I was playing with my teammates, and we can pull off a win even though we were like being outgunned or we were going up against really bad odds. I think those are my favorite moments, to just win with people you like winning with, and not just winning with strangers. And that's one of the things that I didn't really enjoy when I was playing Call of Duty. I was like, I didn't even know who was on my team. I don't remember playing with people.
It didn't matter. All you wanted to do was get those kills.
Yeah,
you just wanted
so
the
it was
30 kills so you could summon a nuke.
It was kind of a hollow, empty feeling, and I was like, this is kind of it's an adrenaline rush, that's for sure. I think that's why a lot of kids enjoy it. They like that adrenaline rush. But for me, sometimes if I want to have a deeper, meaningful feeling.
You need substance.
Yeah,
you need something.
I think that's why games like Battlefield and Arma have a huge popularity as well.
I fucking love these. They flip around and shit. The first time I shot one of those, I expected the typical explosion. Not the pinging around the room.
I didn't think they'd be so popular. Me personally, I like it because it adds a sense of unpredictability. It's a sense of here's an element that players will have to use as kind of like they have to like it's kind of like a dog, you know.
It brings new meaning to the random nade, right? Like
Yeah,
when you just
yeah,
fling the nade and get that
Yeah.
kill. This is a whole nother, boom, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, please, thank you. Doing a great job, of course.
Yeah.
Small development teams always do. I mean, they listen to the community, they take feedback, they make changes regularly.
Someone's talking about sniping.
Gun sights, silencers, scope.
Silencers and scopes are coming up. We actually have that. We already have that. We're just going to be releasing that like in a matter of days, if not weeks. But with regards to aiming down the sights, that's something that I was kind of not hugely a huge fan of because one of the reasons I don't prefer that is because it kind of clutters the view. When I shoot things, I actually like to see what I'm shooting at, and I like seeing that feedback I get when I'm shooting something. So when I'm landing my bullets on a player or the wall, it's kind of satisfying for me to see what's happening. So aiming down the sights, it's a huge controversy because a lot of people wanted it, but it was a difficult decision for me not to include it. It was because I knew it would probably piss off a lot of players if I didn't have it. But I think my gut feeling was I kind of prefer just having a clear view of my enemy and a clear view of what I see. So yeah, that's the reason why I chose not to do aim down the sights.
Well, it's quite stylistic too, isn't it? I mean, when I first got into this, my first question was, why the fuck can't I aim with my gun? Because I played COD more recently.
And everybody is so used to it. Yeah.
Of course, but looking at it again a little bit deeper, it reminds me of Counter-Strike this way, and not of Call of Duty. And they're fundamental differences, I think, in game type, and just in the feeling that you get from it. Now, I'm not going to say one's better or worse. I know a lot of people are going to want sights, of course, but it feels different. And that difference right there, that's identity. And I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate with that, where a lot of other people won't. So I can back your decision there for sure.
Yeah, well, that was the reasoning, so I mean, yeah. To me, I don't see how much of an impact it makes on the game, making it any better. I mean, I guess it makes it more immersive, but
sure.
Yeah, but no, in terms of, I feel that the game can still be enjoyable without it. So
definitely.
He's a Romanian. Ignore him. I love the distractions there. Also, we need more of them. They can be insane. Yeah, I like having physical objects that players can interact with as well, and that's something that I'd like to do with the future levels. Having levels that have kind of like you can actually alter the environment in a bit. Like for example, the fire extinguisher. We do have fire grenades, but they're really kind of rare. So, but there are situations where you can throw a grenade and set fire to certain areas. And I mean, for the future levels, I'm always kind of thinking about what can I add to this level that would make it a bit more dynamic. So yeah, for sure.
Jagger just points out something that I noticed as well. That guy was limping on one foot as he came into the room. I don't know if the rest of you saw that. That was amazing.
Some people like that. Some people find it a bit odd, but I like it because it's kind of humorous and it's kind of lets you know that he's been damaged. But yeah, he's actually limping because he got shot on the other leg, so he's kind of limping. His leg is kind of. So
that's the shit I'm talking about, that when I talk about innovation, it doesn't need to be some big flashy. That's simple, immediately visually recognizable. You see he's been hit straight away, and you laugh a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with laughing.
I'm glad people enjoy it. Yeah.
That's great shit for me. That's top notch. Make a 20 slot lobby. We could do that. You know what we're going to do in about 15 minutes is take a very quick break, and then I'm going to see if I can drag Sticky out of his cage and put him on the computer because he's never played it before.
Oh my god, that guy's floating. Yeah, I've seen that bug. I've seen this bug. Okay, there's some bugs where when you die, the ragdoll just kind of he's in his little magical world, but he doesn't fall down properly. So, yeah, that's a fucking bug that we just couldn't get. I just gotta look into again, but there's those little glitches that kind of.
They happen. They happen.
But they're not game breaking. That one's a purely visual bug. It's not a game breaker. No. He's dead anyways.
It's fine. It gets me thinking more about the Quakes, the Dooms, the Counter-Strikes, the older style of gaming where I had a lot more fun than what I really
did. So Jagged Crown asks, is there a cover mechanic like hiding up against walls and cars? We have blind firing, which a lot of people don't even know. If you press the Q and E.
Yeah, you're gonna show it? Nice.
So the Q and E allows you to do a blind fire. So yeah, this is kind of our way of doing cover. It's difficult because you don't see what you're shooting at, but at the same time, it's great when you're low on health and you have teammates and you just want to support them with suppressive fire. So doing blind fire is kind of a nice tactic that I sometimes find myself doing. So it's not super useful, but there are moments when it comes in handy.
Definitely. And adds a little more realism again, right? It's that you
Yeah.
know, I'm too scared to pop my head out, but at least
Yeah.
I can start shooting some
I
bullets.
do it a lot on highway because there's a lot of cars that I can use as covers. So on highway, I would be using a lot of blind fire, and everybody's kind of everywhere anyway. So
Definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and convince Stiggy to come out. He's never played the game before, so it might be nice to see, for you guys to see somebody playing who's never played while we sort of talk through it. And then if we have time, might even see if Goose can get on there and...
sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not super good, so I mean, it wouldn't be any different than what you're seeing here. So
I expect 100 kills and 0 deaths.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going.
I'm trying on my cheats. So somebody
Death
asking me, is there the ability? So Suncho asks, is there ability to shoot through walls and corners like in CS? Yeah, that's already in TI. In fact, you can penetrate walls with certain guns, and it's very similar to CS. The statistics for the different guns. So like rifles do more penetration than a submachine gun, and also than a shotgun as well. So yeah, you can definitely penetrate walls in this game.
Awesome. That's always a big thing for me as well. I love that being shot through a wall feeling and shooting.
Yeah.
When you peg those couple of bullets through the wall and then you get the kill and it's like
Yeah. It's a certain sense of satisfaction that I think I enjoy it myself as well. So
It's not the bread and butter. I mean, you don't get most of your kills that way, but
no,
you get a couple.
But in
and that's
times when you're desperate and you know that there's some dude there, you know.
blind firing through a wall.
Especially if you have a machine gun, because we have a machine gun that has 100 bullets, so that's kind of a special weapon. You can't buy that one though. That's a gun that you can only get within the game by earning we call them requisition points. So certain guns, certain weapons in our game, you can only earn by getting by doing things within the game. They're not earned. They're not bought outside of the store. So
That's brilliant.
So, for example, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and machine guns, I felt that these were just way too powerful, and I didn't want people to just buy them all willy-nilly and just run in, hey guys, let's start with a rocket launcher.
I've got a credit card.
Yeah, no. There's certain guns that I feel like do not belong in the shop. So those type of guns that I felt needed to be part of like outside of the shop, and those are acquired within the game. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's amazing. That gives me a giant erection. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. That's the good stuff.
Yeah. No.
Because you never hear it, do you? It's always the opposite. It's always the really good shit costs some money, right?
No, yeah, we're really worried about having something that's pay to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the big concern with the free to play. I mean, if you can find the right balance.
It is, and I think when you look at games like World of Tanks and all these other games, League of Legends, Dota, the way that they're doing it is really the way that it needs to be done. And I think we're trying to emulate them in terms of something that's fair for the player, but at the same time something that allows us to generate a bit of revenue. Because believe it or not, we do need money to survive. We are not homeless people, unfortunately.
I just saw my brother sneaking the channel actually, asking, "Is there a P90?"
Yes, there is a P90. I don't know if it's being sold right now, but it will be sold in a matter of. It should be on the stores soon. Our publisher, Lead Games, decides when to release the guns, but it's already been developed, and I use it a lot. Yeah, it's very effective.
Epic. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Maybe he'll show on stream which weapons are in the game at the moment. I'm sure we could have a look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I'm back in the lobby,
All right,
I can
sweet.
have a look at the shop.
Sweet. We'll cue that up next.
Suncho, he says my name correctly. Suncho. It's not that hard. It's actually.
I always call him Sanch, so I didn't even know that I was getting it wrong for the last year.
PCG OJ asks, with the success of the chase mode, are you considering more chases with different vehicles, with like boats or air tactics? Yeah, I think one of my coworkers is working on. He wants to do a level with boats, and I think that'd be really cool, like having a boat level, kind of like a James Bond thing. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have the functionality, and it wouldn't require too much work to do different vehicles, for sure. Yeah. In fact, I think yeah, as I mentioned, yeah, we're doing boats. But yeah, I don't think flying is something that I really want to look into, because flying just really opens up the space too much, and it just opens up the room for players to get staggered all over the place. And P90.
Oh Lord, the P90.
The G36. I put my three favorites. We have the P90. We have the G36K, but we do not have the XM8. I'm trying to remember what the XM8 is. I'm a gun freak, so I don't know. The XM8 is probably that ugly ass thing that H&K was developing. It looks like a fish, and I'm not a big fan of it. The XM8 was actually the precursor to the G36.
Okay.
So yeah, we have the G36K, so I don't think we'd be doing the XM8. It just looks ugly. There's certain guns that I just don't like. You know, you know, the XM8 is probably one of those. But
Hey, we've all got our favorites, right?
we do. But yeah,
The P90 is a fairly regular one, I think. But
yeah.
should we talk about monetization a little bit? It looks like there's a few questions
Yeah,
in regards
sure,
to how people are going to get their guns, what the effects are there.
So you can buy a weapon for 7 days or perma. You have the option to do both actually. You can buy the gun for 7 days with game points, or if you want to buy them permanently, you need to use cash. You know.
All right.
Yeah. So we have that option to buy them permanently. So, but yeah, every single weapon in our game, in fact, a lot of the items in our game you can buy with game points. Like the only thing that we restrict to cash only. I believe at the moment are the characters. So if you want to buy new characters in the game, you'd have to spend real cash.
So the aesthetic stuff, yeah.
The aesthetic stuff. So like a new character, like it's just cosmetic, really.
Yeah.
So that's why you see in the game everyone kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
Because they're cheap asses. No,
Spend some money.
No, I'm kidding. Money is hard to come by these days. The economy is shit. But seriously, man, this guy again. I'm sick of seeing this guy. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's great though. I mean, as you said, with League of Legends, with Dota, this is the way to go about free to play. It's kind of been proven that it works now, right? And aesthetically, and the option to, of course, buy a gun permanently is not such a big deal because you can get it for 7 days in the game anyway. So.
And you can earn enough points to buy a gun for a week within like 4 hours. I think.
Definitely. It's easy enough to stay competitive without actually to spend money.
Like that's the one thing we don't want people to grind. You know, I mean, to me, I have a motto: grinding belongs in the clubs. It does not belong in the games. You know,
grind it down.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I don't like grinding, and you know, we've kind of taken that from our experience working with other games. You know.
Forak, he was probably one of the people playing Counter-Strike with me when we were kids, and we grew up on the same street. He's asking, can you modify weapons?
No, unfortunately not. We don't have the ability to selectively add different customization. What we do is we sell variations of that gun. So like for example, this M4, we actually have an M4 with a silencer or an M4 with a flashlight and a scope on top of it. So we kind of do the customizations ourselves, and we just kind of sell the variant.
Okay.
So if you want to buy a gun with a silencer and a scope, you can actually buy that one.
So they exist, but you can't.
They exist, but you don't actually get to customize it yourself.
Sure.
We decide what gets.
you don't have the right.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I mean, again, the customization's a different thing, right? You can have massive customization, or you can limit it completely, and that means that you buy a specific weapon for a specific purpose, specific tool for the job, sort of thing.
Yeah. Australian servers, I can't really justify spending money. That's a good. That's a good point. Until and there are plans to release more servers all over the world, because I believe right now we have servers in North America, Europe, and Russia, and we're going to be expanding that shortly once we release the game. There's plans to release servers in Asia, Turkey, and maybe the moon.
Moon, coming to the moon here. Melee weapons, stealth-like gameplay thoughts?
Not too much. I mean, we do have the knife. It's sort of your backup weapon that that's used when you run out of bullets. There's no. I didn't have any plans to do something more more immersive in terms of doing stealthy type. Because when you play the game, it's actually so fast-paced that you don't have too much opportunity to go around sneaking, right? So I felt that I didn't think that it was necessary to really focus on the stealth type of aspect.
You can't just add the super perk, boots that make you run 3 times faster, run around
I suppose
and cut everybody in half.
I could have done that, but I don't really feel that was something that would have been good for gameplay. I'm just.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. We already have speed hacks as well.
I remember my brother running around COD with just a knife and stupid speed and all the perks. And just 50 kills, just cutting everybody down. And I'm like, okay, great, you got your kills, but I'm dead, buddy, I'm dead. And
it's weird.
Yeah, it's a different thing, right?
You mentioned some weapons in game and other. Okay, so PCG Ogit asks, you mentioned some weapons in games. What other achievements do you have planned, and will there be some of those insane achievements that would advertise team skill and? Okay, so we do have a lot of achievements in game. Like you do various things a number of times, you will get those achievements.
Do you have the platinum achievements? The balls to the wall.
I like hardcore.
I worked my ass off.
So stuff like getting like 10 headshots within like a game.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one. But there's also long-term ones like
playing the game for like 10, 20 hours straight kind of thing.
I'm trying to think of a really good example here. I know in Counter-Strike on there are some hard ones because I know Smiles was in the forums the other day asking to get a group together to just grind out those achievements. And I don't know exactly which achievements they are. Maybe Smiles, you can fill us in.
You know, it's not hard to add achievements. I mean, for sure. I mean, it wouldn't be difficult at all to add some crazy ones. So we can add some. In fact, maybe the community we might have a forum where the community can suggest some achievements.
Probably a really good idea because those tough ones they really give it that longevity, right? And they're, with Steam at the moment you can actually choose a showcase for your profile and it shows specifically all the really hard achievements you've got based on the percentage of other people that have them. So like 0.3% of people have this achievement and you have it. That I think that culture is coming out. So
You know, I mean, I see that in a lot of games, and I see that's really starting to become fashionable. But you know, my personal opinion on achievements, I can't. You know, me personally, I'm not a big fan of them.
Too old school, man.
But I do believe that it's becoming. We can't ignore it, and that's why we have them in the game. But for me, I kind of feel like having achievements kind of it turns it into a meta game. You know, if people are logging onto my game and the game just trying to achieve a game achievement and they're not really doing their job and they're ignoring their task. I don't think I want to introduce achievements that will encourage that kind of game.
What do you think about hidden achievements that for like you said 10 headshots in a row or something like that?
Yeah, that's something that happens naturally as you play the game. So for sure, I would like to do those, but I don't want to have an achievement where go to this part of the map and spend 30 seconons there pissing in the corner. Like, come on, man, play the game, right? I don't want to do shit like that.
You got to be clever about it for sure.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, it's honestly, I think that the achievement culture can be very negative, and I think the Xbox played a large role in that. With, you know, buy this game because it's really easy to get your gamer points. But I think what Steam are doing, it's more of a badge of honor and a memory. I was there when I got this sort of thing, you know, and I think that's definitely got some some pretty good fucking. I'm just gonna ban some of these douchebags because you always get wankers in here as usual. Where are we? I was a beast at COD. Smoke grenades.
We have them. We have actually we have a ton of different types of grenades. We have a flashbang, smoke grenades, tear gas grenade, frag grenade, and also a fire grenade. So the fire grenade is really useful. So you get the grenades within the game. You don't buy them in the shop. You get them as you play the game. So if you're doing certain things like killing players, rescuing hostages, winning certain things, and healing your teammates, you get these things called requisition points, and these points will automatically unlock grenades. And also, eventually, if you get enough, you can unlock a machine gun or a rocket launcher.
Sure.
So these types of items fall under that category. We call them requisition items. So yeah, basically grenades are those things. So yeah, we don't sell them in the shop. You know?
Okay, well, and they could sort of play into the stealth gameplay a little bit. I mean,
oh, for sure, they're super important. I think having a flashbang and a smoke grenade for like certain levels, it's crucial. And so I feel that. But those are the easiest grenades to accrue. You know, I think if you kill like an enemy, you get enough points to get a flashbang. So.
Perfect. I mean, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Okay, Gorg's just started playing. He says, been playing for a while now, and I kind of enjoy it. But here's a question: will the game feature maps that have the same type of tension that many of the CS maps had? The maps I played so far in TI are very straight into the action, but lacking that tension, perhaps. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally agree with that, and I think you know, the current maps that we released right now, they're just kind of an experimental, and there's something that I wanted to just trying to experiment with, like in terms of just different game styles. But yeah, I've learned a lesson in that the CS maps, they have a lot more room for movement and a lot more opportunity for sneaking and doing building tension in that regard. And that's something that I've learned a hard lesson in. And our current maps that we're working on, they actually address this concern, and they're much more flowing, and they're actually very similar to the layout of a Counter-Strike map. So for example, the airport map that I'm working on, it's much larger and has much more traditional routes that you would find in a Counter-Strike map. So there's more room for sneaking, more room for you know, flanking your opponent. So yeah, I do agree with the fact that the current maps right now, they are more straight to the action, and they do really just throw people in there. And I think it was kind of a mistake, but at the same time, it was an experiment.
It was building blocks for sure.
Exactly.
We
learn.
At Gamescom, we were talking about the idea of perhaps bridging sort of the highway maps into hostage maps into so that it sort of goes through a progression. Yeah?
Exactly.
And that would create tension because it's a longer gameplay campaign as opposed to that straight in.
And actually, the game is set up so you can actually do that because, as you notice with this game, it's broken up into stages. So in stage 1, you will play in a certain part of the map. Stage 2, your part is. So technically, it would be trivial for us to make a level where in the first stage you're driving a car, the second stage you're rescuing hostages, and then third stage you're doing whatever. So yeah, it's not hard to do that.
Alright, so we've got some questions on XP farming and stuff like that. Guys, we're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
Just so we can grab a drink, go to the bathroom. We're going to just be a few minutes, and then we're going to come back and if I can actually, coax the gimp Steegi out of the cage, we will put him on the computer and see if you... Because obviously Polly is pretty badass. I don't know if you've been watching, but he's kicking some ass in there. I want to see someone suck really badly.
Sure, okay.
And then maybe we can throw some contrast by getting Min to have a crack and show you how to get 100 kills without dying. Alright, so Polly, whenever you're ready, can you just chuck up the overlay and some tunes, and we'll just be back in just a few minutes.
I like how the characters do breakdancing upon death. I'm glad someone appreciates that because me personally, I love it when characters do a glorious death animation. That's something that I really enjoyed, and that's something that we're constantly adding. So yeah, thanks for.
There are some guys playing in the community. Awesome guys.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll just. It's up. Oh, are we muted? Are we? No, we're not muted. We're not muted. That. It works. The mute button worked. All right, we're gonna go now. We'll be back in just a second, guys. Cheers.